I'm gonna take this one to storage and get the other one. People in my area won't drive anything that's nice in the winter, even if it's not snowing, because of the crap they put on the roads, and it rusts everything. So even when the snow's gone, that stuff's still on the road, kind of gets into like a dust form, and it gets up in the wheel wells and stuff, so it can cause some issues. So I just got to drive this thing a short distance, but even that I'd rather not if I could avoid it. But since I'm going to have to, just take a little WD-40. At least hit the shiny bits a little bit to try to help protect that. At least give me a fighting chance. And then I can wash it off in the summer. Hit the Dayton's real quick. Definitely China's. Give them just a quick coat on the spokes. Like I said, I wouldn't do this and take it to a car show, but it's gonna look okay for just driving across town, and it'll give me a better chance of not having my rims get all rusted by the time winter's over. Try to drive this thing across town to my storage. See how she does. Hasn't been driven in a while. I don't drive it a whole lot because I don't have license plates on this thing. I've had this car for 3 years and still haven't registered it. So the police really love me. And I just seen a popo drive down this main street, so I'm trying to give him a second. I'm not gonna lie, I get reckless when I'm driving this thing. If you guys are looking for just a quality ride, hydraulics ain't where it's at. The switches still work. They still work. Batteries haven't been charged in about a year. So they're not as snappy. Scan the oncoming traffic, make sure you don't see any cherries, and then give it a couple taps. Let it eat. Alright, I'm gonna turn this camera off because I'm just showing off at this point. I'm just gonna try to make it there and pick up this other car. 6.4, obviously convertible, non-SS, so it does not have the buckets, doesn't have the center console, just a regular sport coupe, which I'm okay with. It's got the right color interior too. This is what I would have picked. Black with the red combo is pretty sweet. The white top, I wasn't too sure about the white top, but it's growing on me. Dash needs a little love. It needs this panel replaced. I think somebody chewed it up when they put the CD player in. I really hate it when people put CD players in the dash on these. I mean, put it in the glove box or mount it under the dash or something. Don't cut the dash up, please. But it's done. So I have a new panel. Biggest problem is you got to take the ignition out on these to change this panel. And this is not the right key, so it does not turn the ignition back to lock to be able to pull the ignition out. So that's why the guy had so much trouble before taking this off. So I'm gonna have to actually cut this ignition out to replace it, and I'll have to replace the whole ignition, basically, the switch, the cylinder, the keys. Yeah, but we're gonna get that done. So, but nice car. It's got a 350 Power Glide transmission. It's, you know, just a drum brake car, but it runs and drives really good. I put MagnaFlow stainless exhaust on it. Got nice speakers in it. Somebody mounted the speakers in the door panels. It's got this switch. The switch makes like the trunk vibrate. I'm not sure what that does, but every time you turn it up, it just shakes the trunk. But yeah, it's a nice car. We'll go for a little drive. So that's her. I'm pretty excited to actually have something that has a top that's, you know, you can put it up or down. Not that I'm going to drive it out in the rain, but this one's just more of a fair weather, you know, sun shining, and so am I type of car. But yeah, and I'm able to ride this sucker right now. That one, even though I got it started and running on its own key, you know, you can't really drive it right now. So it's still got a long way to go. So this one's still got a long way to go. But I got a few things I want to do to this. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it is super nerdy. Super nerdy with that single antenna up front. So I want to put dual antennas on it. And that means I got to do something with this hole here. Which actually works out. So I'm going to take this out, weld in a plate, and then this fender actually has a little bit of damage on it right there, kind of a scuff in the paint. So I'm going to go ahead and repaint the fender, kind of kill two birds there, and then mount some dual antennas on it and just kind of class it up a little bit, and then go ahead and tackle my ignition panel problem. Yeah. And then, yeah, that's probably mostly all I'm going to do to it, other than just clean it up, give it a good wet sand and buff, get some wax on it. Somebody had repainted the car at one point, and I don't think they ever buffed it. It's got a few dirt nibs and stuff in it, so clean that up. Work on the charging system a little bit. It seems to have a little issue keeping the voltage up. when you turn the turn signal on, the voltage gauge will drop with the flasher. So I think that either maybe the battery's bad. It does have a brand new Optima in the trunk, and then an older battery up in the engine bay because of the slaps in the trunk, you know. So I might have to replace that front battery. I'm not sure. I tried to replace some of the grounds on it, and didn't really make any difference. There she is. Whole lot to look at. I put some cheap ceramic coated headers on here, and I don't think they're sealing too well. It seems like where the MagnaFlow stainless exhaust goes up to it, it seems like it's leaking right around that joint. So I'm guessing it's got to be the headers. I mean, it could be the MagnaFlow pipes, but I doubt it. But it sounds okay for now. It's definitely good enough to cruise. But yeah, she's got some stuff going on here. I need to clean that up a little bit. So next video is going to be me doing some cutting and grinding on this thing, which is going to hurt my heart a little bit because it's definitely the nicest 6.0 I've ever owned. And I'm going to have to make it ugly to make it better. You know, it's just the process. But yeah, stay tuned.